Alrighty, Doc here from North America. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. It is Tuesday. Moving along in the week, we got some big numbers coming through. We have some real speculation that the inflation numbers are going to move down. We actually might see much more lower CPI than people are thinking about because of the cost of renting and homes has not grown. There's just no inventory, so the number won't change, and it could actually be a little bit lower than normal. Doesn't mean that there's a lot of inventory out there. It means the opposite. It means that there's just not any inventory, so no reason for the prices to rise any more than they had. I guess something of that combination, the way they do the stat. But anyway, that's where we stand today. There, you can see the dollar index up on J4X. Ooh. Let's go over to. Let's get the chat line up. I just realized that wasn't up, so I can say good morning to whoever has jumped in on the chat line. And so we got some good numbers kicking out here over the next hour, and then we have the Fed speaking tomorrow, and those numbers today will have an influence on tomorrow. They already know what it is, and so it's going to be very interesting. Could be energy for the end of the year. Let's put it this way: the ho-ho rally that everybody usually hopes for. The ho-ho rally. That's right, the Christmas rally. So there it is. There's a dollar index. You can see the dollar index is. What is up with that? Yeah, there, it's moving down. I don't know why. Oh, yeah, I see it. Okay. Yeah, so right here, you can see just these last 3 days. You see it's moving down. Okay, good. I was thinking to myself, and it didn't look right to me. You can see it's been in that daily buy. It doesn't want to give up there, and the weekly is actually trying to move through at the moment, which is kind of interesting. It's trying to lift up. Now we'll see how that goes over the next couple of days, but that's usually a sign of interest increase in dollar, or let's put it this way, dollar buying. Remember, the dollar represents in many ways when it's moving up, gaining against other pairs trades, is because investors around the world are buying American currencies, and not American currencies, American assets, stocks, Amazon, so forth and so on, Meta and Tesla and AMD and so forth and so on. And so they reach in and if they don't buy dollars, they're short dollars. And they're long the stock, and the stock is going up in equity, hopefully. But remember, it does make them short dollars. So maybe they don't want to be short dollars. Maybe that's part of the situation, especially at the end of the year coming now. We're basically 18 days away from the end of the year, and so that's a pressure point. All right, so we can see on J4X, you can see that where we got going on J4X there. That is the dollar index. Let's widen it out a little bit so we can see it a little bit better. Just a little red going on, and for good reasons. Let's go over here again. You can see it's moving down. When we go over to here on the older platform from the beta, you can see that much even clearer. It's breaking down a little bit from yesterday's pick up, but you can see the strength in there. Now the weekly is you can see the fast has moved through the zero line last week, and the slow just got through the manifold and fell back down again. It's not really lifting. So to me, it's again the dead cat bounce. I don't see this as like some earth-shattering, oh my God, they're going to start buying dollars again and we're going to be at 109 or something like that. I just don't see that type of action. Again, it's the end of the year stuff that's making more than noise. Now let's go over to the euro. Yeah, let's see what the euro is up to. And what else can we see? Oh, how about that Harvard thing, huh? The head of Harvard plagiarized her graduate thesis. And they're saying, okay, that's no problem. When everybody else gets kicked out for it. Oh, my goodness. She's definitely stirred the pot, let's put it that way. She's got everybody looking at this dysfunctionality of some of the top schools in the country, which are going to become less top and more name. And people are going to start steering away from them. We're going to the euro. Let's take a look at that. There is the euro, dollar-euro pairs trade right there on J4X. Now, yesterday, it jumped into the daily buy. That was pretty impressive. It was showing some strength there. It's ticking away here. Oh, how about that? Taking a little time to get there, isn't it? Dismiss that. Let's put it up on the old platform. And there it is right there. Yo, yo, Robin. I'm down? Restart again. I can hear you now on the system. Yep.
Just go back to where I chose it from and click it again.
Yeah, exactly.
All
right. Bye-bye. So, that was Robin. He's battling with the technicals out there in Chicagoland. Now, there's the euro. You can see today it's trying to lift up. Yesterday, it closed in a daily buy here by the hair of its chinny chin. You can see that. The plot line 1 was something like 0.00008. And the plot 4 was the same, only it was 17. So the pressure to me is that it went into a little daily buy. And you're seeing the strength today. There it is right there. There we go. And you can see here the weekly, get that mouse over there. You can see the weekly didn't really care either. What we're really looking at this point is the fact that the dollar seems to be strong in some ways and weak in others. Like right there, you can see the euro is lifting. And lightning strike. F cuts production of all electric F-150 lightning strike. Oh, I wonder why that is. All right. Not enough buyers, I guess. Let's see. From there, there it is. So from the dollar, the euro-dollar pairs trade, we'll jump over to the cable. Remember, traders, you're welcome to ask any questions you want. Name a market. Doc will give you direction on it. Yeah, see what our math is saying. Exactly. Let's go over to the cable. There's the cable right there. Now, I think the cable missed the daily buy yesterday. But what's really interesting is that it missed the buy. Yeah, it missed the buy, right? You can see it's trying to lift up. But more than what I found curious is that the euro cable pairs trade went down, not up. So in other words, the cable is even being stronger with it not getting into the buy still. It's tried yesterday and failed at it. See, it was right there. It was in the minuses. And so it's just sideways and up a little bit. Came off its highs for the day. And let's take a look at that on the let's see, on the beta. Let's take a look at the beta on both of those, because the futures contracts at least show us the same type of direction. And there it is right there. Is that like, does that need to be moved over somehow? Let's see. Okay, maybe that's better. There we go. So we make the whole page there. So you can see that's trying to lift up, just like here. And it's just by the hair of its chinny chin trying to get into the buy, whereas yesterday it was in a minus. Now, we'll go to the cable and see what the cable future looks like. Let's see. 6B. Where is 6B? There it is right there, 6B. And it's trying also to get up into the plus. In this case here, it didn't make it yesterday. And you can see the weekly still holding on, even with the fast breaking below the zero line. The green is banging against the manifold. So we're seeing some interesting, selling in dollars in the two, what I like to call the two major pairs. And we've even seen that in the third major pair, which is the yen. And then obviously the fourth is the Canadian. And you can see that strength. Matter of fact, I think the Swiss, without a doubt, also lifted. That's 4% of world trading, almost twice as much as China. So an 8 million population country can trade, their currency trades twice as much almost as China with a 1 billion population. It just shows you how weak China is economically. From there, that cleans off the two futures contracts that we like to look at on the beta. After that, we stay only with the futures. None of the other currency contracts we pay attention to because they're inverse because of the way they trade them in Chicago. All right, now from the British pound, we'll go over to the Swiss. Let's take a look at that Swiss, and we'll put it up over here again. We'll put it up on J4X also. And the Swiss went into the sell yesterday. All right. Let's get it up over here. There it is. Yeah, see, I guess it didn't make it into the sell yesterday, but it was very close. And today it is through it, whereas yesterday it couldn't get through it. Now, I think it was Canadian. It must have been, lifting up against it. And the other thing was it was the other way around with the yen. I was a little bit surprised this morning seeing the yen weakening against the dollar again. I guess all that situation going. I saw more news, LDP news in Japan and the kickback scheme, and they've really gotten tangled up over there. Probably be a few more resignations before it's all over with. The Prime Minister seems to be holding on pretty well, though. All right, and so there is the Swiss breaking down, and then we go to the yen right there that we were just talking about. It's trying, even with it down today, it's trying to jump back into the buy. But our weekly's still, we're full 4 weeks now. This is the fourth week working on that sell. And it's been an interesting slide, when they started resigning from positions in the parliament, it seemed to help the currency. So obviously there's, some analogous between the two. And that's usually how we try to figure some of these things out. Obviously we trust the math and the algorithms first, and then we wonder, why did it know, to go start selling here? Or why did it know to go selling here? Because it's going down. That's the algorithm, and that's the way it works. It's that sophisticated an algorithm that picks things up. And then we look for the stories and try to understand, how they front-runned everything. In other words, how the insiders make the trades without being afraid of gaining the money. And I guess right now, the LDP party that runs the country forever and ever is watching slowly by steadily people resigning, out of office because they've been caught getting kickbacks. All right, so from the yen, we go into a real interesting thing, and that is we go over to the Turkish lira. The Euro-Turkish lira, which we like to call the Great Experiment, and it's going on a second day of a daily buy. The weekly has never really been able to fall into the sell area. It's shown the fast you can see down here has broken the zero line, but the slow, which we follow more closely, for everybody, because we try to slow it down to make it easier for investing or trading. Let's put it that way. We know that the weakness here tells us that it's breaking down fast, but the slow, breaks the manifold here, and still kind of hanging out and starting to build a bottom again. And you can see changing the angle, it starts to lift up through the manifold here, and sure enough, we see strength, and that's how that usually works, and doesn't seem to go away. We did a lot of analyzation of this product yesterday, and today, we can just not chew on it as much, just show you where it's at. All right, from there, we're moving nice and fast today. From there, we'll go over to the brick. Argentina has now moved away from being a brick, I would say. Especially, I heard this morning Argentina has 150% inflation a month. A month, not a year, a month. And no matter how many votes they tried to, harvest, they couldn't harvest enough votes to compensate for the change people wanted. And so the change has come. They're going to start using the dollar as a currency because their currency is so upside down. He's cut half the government. I think he's down to 9 departments now. He cut out. There were 21 departments, and his first day he got rid of them. Got rid of 11 of them. 11, 12 of them. And he's down to 9 departments. And they're going to try to lower taxes and allow imports and exports to get going again, and try to free the Argentine economy. Capitalism coming back to it in a good way, not the fascism of the socialists, but capitalism for free people, free markets. A sip of the tea. Quiet. Nobody has any questions or anything. Interesting. And let's put up on there. Let's put the South African Rand up on J4X, and we'll take a look at the metals complex and see what's going on there this morning. And that was another thing we chewed apart over the last couple of days, and how it has drifted from being a great predictor. With this angle right there, you can see it's been moving up. We should be seeing gold since basically the middle of November. Where's that? What date is that? Oop. What did I do? I just moved something up or down. How about if I just do this? I'm going to close it. No. There we are. And then reopen it. That's the S&P 500 intraday you're looking at right there. Open. Dukascopy day week. Let's go back to that again. And we want to look at the South African Rand. Right there. And so you can see here from, what is that? That's basically the 13th. Is that the 13th? That's the 15th. Okay, so we go and look at gold. Let's put gold up there and see how gold looks from the 15th of November. There it is. So from the 15th, it went up in value when the South African Rand, as you see over here on J4X, also went up and lost value against the dollar. So that is not normal. But then it's topped out about 2 weeks ago. You can see that big spike over here with gold. And there was some type of, I don't know, we thought at the time, I think we talked about the 5 central banks led by China to start buying stocks and buying. They put out about $350 billion, and we were just assuming that they probably were doing gold at the same time to mix with their portfolio. So there you go. You can see that wild top that didn't last. It took it to all-time highs and smash. And then we were in a daily sell except for one day there, and then back down again. And in many ways, you can see the weekly has held us in a neutral stance through most of this. The buy was a very poor buy, and that's where we are at the moment. We're still in that weekly buy, and pretty much been in a daily sell now 6 out of the last 7 days. So it's made it very, very hard to get the metal complex to coordinate with the South African Rand, or the brick, the number one brick in the world. All right, and then let's save that too. There we are. All right, there we go. And then we have silver. Silver has been straight into that sell, and it went into the weekly sell last week, and now it's jumped. It's trying to climb in there, so you want to basically take a profit, because it's trying to lift back up into the buy. You want them to both be coordinated together. And that's silver. Silver is not. Seems to be so much more weaker. It's down like $2.75. $2.75 down. Silver must be being used. I think, I say it over and over again, they're selling silver, buying gold. And that's why that gold-silver pairs trade is so upside down anymore. Then when we look at copper, now this is kind of like a view into China, Illinois, as my dad would say. You see it's in a weekly buy. Whoop, right there, it's in a weekly buy. But at the same time, weekly buy there. And at the same time, you see, a daily sell. So you can't take the sell, and it goes up and down and sideways. It's like really sloppy. But the weekly is telling you don't take the sells. Again, the metals complex has. I like to blame. You're going to hear it every day here. I like to blame the end of the year. That's the way I look at it. So there is the copper. From there, we perch ourselves over at the platinum. Boy, I don't even know how they have confidence to even short the platinum at this point. But it's in a daily buy. Came in a daily sell on the weekly down in here. And here we are just exploding back up into the buy again. And just the real sloppy, choppy action that we're having in these products tells us that, this is more of the sizing up at the end of the year and less to do with what they actually think metals are worth. Let's see. Yep, there you are. There is the four metals. And we're not really seeing anything too exciting with, let's see, what do we have here? We literally have, I guess after next week, we have basically 2 weeks of trading. So we have 2 weeks and 3 days of trading still. Another sip of the tea there since it's morning time here. What else can we talk about when it comes to the metals complex? Just that the world does not seem to stop buying gold, that's for sure. Now, they're not that excited about buying silver or platinum, but they are definitely not afraid to buy gold. Even in a sloppy down move like this. Let's put it up there again. Right there, and you can see, it's still higher than where it started in mid-November, which was a low. And it still won't give up that weekly. You can see that. Let's see what it looks like on the beta. There it is. There you go. You can see right there. It's been in a daily sell for days and days. I don't think it ever did it go into the buy there? Let's see. Looks like it did. Yep. And you can see here the weekly is so much more choppier. It was in a weekly I think it went into the sell here. No, it stayed in the buy. Then went into the sell here, had us nervous for last week, and then it jumped right back into the buy again. And now we are flirting again with a sell. So the beta is really battling with this thing. It's really feeling the sensitivity of it all. And I guess that's like the end of the story with the metals. If anybody has any interest in seeing something in the metals, just let us know. But we're going to jump over to the energy sector now. Let's put the Canadian up there. And we'll put Canadian up on our chart over here on the old platform. Right there, just to give you a flavor of what's going on. You can see it pressed itself into the sell yesterday with no problem. And just missed it. No, it was in a sell there too. There you go. So it's been 2 days in a sell, going on a third day now in that weekly sell. So normally that puts strength into the energy sector. So let's take a look at. We'll put Brent up there this morning. Right there. And let's put Brent up. Let's see. Right. It's up in here somewhere. BZF. And there's Brent there. And you can see on the beta, Brent is trying to lift up. You can see it's the second day in a buy. The weekly is still in a sell for a while now. You see the same thing over here, 2 days trying to lift up there. And let's check out the sell there. And it'll spill out in a few seconds. And from, let's see, there we go. Come on, you can do it. Push, 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 push. There you go. You can see that. It's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks now. Brent has been pushing down. You can see 2 weeks before that, then a pop up. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Same thing here. You can see that pressure on it. And the sells have been really good. So that's Brent. Let's take a look at West Texas. And what we're going to do here is we're going to go back to the daily on Canadian, stick that back in there. So we can look at the Canadians action right there. And then at the same time, we go over to here and we take a look at crude oil. Let's find crude in there. Right there. There's the January contract. Looking pretty much identical to the, what do you call it, the Brent. You can see 2 days in a daily buy. Not backing away whatsoever. And let's do that. Like that. And then you can see the weekly, same situation, lots of weeks in a sell. And then from there, that's the crude. And let's take a look at the gas. And we're looking for NG. NG. Right there. There's NG. You can see that this thing. And where did we get down to yesterday? It really started to push it down hard. We'll put it up on this chart too. This way we can really see it close. Up close and personal. Right there. And we'll put it up here. It's even clearer. You can see it drifted down yesterday to $2 and what is that? 29 cents. $2.29 for natural gas in the United States. And you see the same thing. Let's put it up on J4X right here. There it is right there. You can see this weekly over here. It's just been slow and steady and down. Just down, 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 down. And then when we go look at it on the beta, same situation. 10 full weeks in a sell. From the, was that like the $3 area or something like that? $3? Yeah. 350? No, I think it's, yeah, it might have been 350. We were up in the 350 area. You can see it right here. We went to that weekly sell a little underneath the 335 area, and it just stayed in that cell for a while, and it's still in it now as we speak. Now you see the same thing over here on the J4X, long steady ride down. There we are. Now from there, let's see. What let's see. That's an interesting one. It's just up a little bit from yesterday. Not much, but still up a little bit. There we are. So from there, we go over to, where do we go over to? From natural gas, we go and look in Spain. We saw where that energy company in Spain dropped from $28 down to $27.50 yesterday. So let's see what they're doing. I would imagine it's like $27.60 or $27.45, something like that. Let's see. Ooh, what happened? They jumped it back up to the 28. That's too bad. Let's go check it out on J4X too. Right there. Let's see, what do we have here? Let's take a look at that. Now, you see it on the beta. Let's put it up on the beta. And same thing here. It's moved back up to that 28. Look at that. One nice big move down. And then they came to their senses or something. I was listening to one of my favorite science shows. It's only like 2 minutes or 3 minutes long, 3.5 minutes always a day. And they were saying that places in the United States and in the world where it should be covered with snow is not. And then in Europe, which has a temperate environment normally, is covered with snow. 3/4 of Europe is covered over with snow, or 2/3 or something like that. So, the weather has been adjusting itself to different parts of the planet. And it's still, showing Europe that don't worry about that global warming thing. For us over here, pretty much the same thing. We've had some cold days and some snow and rain and the whole bit. And so I think there's a winter here in the northern hemisphere of the planet. All right, from there, that completes, that completes the energy sector. And what we'll do is we'll drift over to the stock indices. Because within, I guess, 25 minutes, they're going to start telling us what the CPI looked like. So that could be a lot of fun. That's going to do something. So let's take a look at, they release it to the reporters in like 10 minutes. About 15 minutes earlier. This way they can write articles on it and put them out instantly, which makes no sense to me, but that's one way of being able to let them front run and sell opportunity. So, they were talking about consumer prices are up 17% during Biden's 3 years. Gas prices up 32%. Credit card debt up 40%. Wow. They're showing some wild stats. Bidenomics definitely is a dynamically aggressive beast that doesn't help anybody in particular. Let's see, what do we got on here? That's the energy company from Spain. Just really surprised there. All right, now let's see what let's do this. We'll go over, you see the stock indices right now on the old platform on an intraday basis. You can see that. Let's give you a broad picture. It's been kind of choppy all night long. This is yesterday's close right in here. Where's it at? Yesterday's close was right in here in the 76 area. And it's traded as high as 87 maybe? 85. So it traded up to 85. Now we're at a point where we've gotten made a new high. No, 85 and a half still. So that's interesting. 85 and a half versus what? 85? 85 and a quarter. And right there, it's trying to get, it's to hit the 85 and a half. It's at 84.75. It's kind of quiet. It's really, for the news coming out, they're just like sitting on the sidelines. Now, we'll go over to, let's see what else we go over to. Let's go over to, I'm sure we'll come up with something here. Let's put that back together for the 3 intradays. You can see right there. Now we're back up around 85 again. Let's take a look at the S&P 500 itself. Right there. You can see that closed in a buy yesterday. There it is. There we are. So it closed in the buy yesterday, lifting up, been in a weekly buy. There's not much concern when it comes to the stock indices overall. End of the year window dressing and so forth, and at this point maybe they're going to send it out at the highs of the year. I don't know, new highs of the year or something like that. Trap the shorts even more. That's usually the best way, because there's a lot of managers out there that are still a little undervalued, and they will capitulate if they start lifting this market up again. Can you imagine if they put it up into the 4,700 and change, 47 and a half, something like that in the March contract. That's what we're looking at now, is the March contract there. Let's see. Let's go to the Tech 100. What do we have over here? We have that gas up on J4X. Let's go to the Tech 100 there. There it is right there, the Tech 100. And it's loading in. We're going to put it in over here. Right there. I think it's a third day in a buy there. Let's fix that. Let's grab one of the buys from previous. We'll steal that buy. So we've been in the buy since there. It's been moving up. I doubt we'll see 1700, but boy, is that like one of the highest? Let's see what we have here. Let's go and look at it on the J4X. Yeah, so they're taking out the yearly highs as we speak right now. Yeah, because there's the beginning of the year. It's gone from the 10,000 area to the 16,000 area. Not bad, huh? It says there 10,600 and change to 16,200 and change. So, wow, big move. Big move for the year in that sector. And let's take a look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average right there. Put it in over here. That's been on a roar. I mean, it really has over the last month and a half. It has not really loosened up. Let's see, right there. And that's the December contract we're looking at. We should put let's put the March contract in there. See what that looks like. But you can see, let's do this to cancel. Just for a second on the December contract, which expires on Friday. It's been in a buy since the beginning of November. And it's gone from the 3,400 area to the 3,600, 500 area. 2,500 points on the Dow. That's pretty good stuff. Let's go like this. Matter of fact, I just realized the same thing is going on with the Tech 100, really. Tech 100, were we looking at a March contract, or were we looking at a December contract? There we are. There's the March. That's 378 points even higher. Seems balanced the same way. Did go into a sell went into a buy When was that? That went into the buy on the 13th. Is that right? Yeah, the 13th. And stayed in a buy all the way up to December 6th. And then had a couple days in a sell. And then it didn't get into the buy there, did it? No. So now we're a second day in a buy. Let's steal another buy. Take that one. There we are. File, save workspace. There we go. So the Dow Jones Industrial Average is holding up real. Oh, there we go. There's Janos. Hi. Thoughts on today's? Yes, I think it's going to be low. There's a lot of feeling out there that the CPI could be much better off than people were expecting. Something about real estate. I understand the real estate component. There hasn't been a change month over month. Actually, they think there's going to be a little drop from it. Something about inventories. And so there's an actual feeling that the CPI could be even better than people were expecting. Which, let's put it this way. They want that so that they can lower. Right now, they're pricing in the Fed futures contract. There's a Fed future contract. And that Fed futures contract is pricing in 4 cuts for 2024. And so they want that. Now, people with common sense in the marketplace that I usually listen to has said that basically they have a hard time believing the Fed would cut 4 times. They would think it would cut twice. And they made the case that the reason why they didn't think it would cut 4 times is that it would insinuate, in other words, it would point out that there may be something wrong with the economy, that they have to start cutting so fast when they're just now sitting around the right price tag for the 10-year and the 20-year and the 30-year, that type of thing. And so if we're going to see any drop, it'll be at the front end of the curve. So the treasury bills and so forth, people are starting to step up, I understand, and buy treasury bills and like 1 year and 2 year, or like 1 year bond bills, and same thing with the like 60-day and 90-day. They're buying them because they think that it'll put pressure on them to gain in value. In other words, the interest rate will drop. So, and so that's really that's the gravity of it all. What I've picked up so far from who I trust that I usually listen to. All right, I hope that answered that question. So let's see. Now from there, we drift over to the Russell 2000, which could be the canary in the coal mine. And there it is right there. There's the Russell. And the Russell is fighting away all the way up to the 19 area today. And let's see what the Russell looks like on J4X. Right there. And so we're seeing the strength in there. It's been in a weekly buy now for 5 weeks. This is the 5th week. So the pressure is on there. It did slide into the sell like everybody else, but then jumped right back into the buy again. So let's do this. We'll put the sell here, like that. Then we'll go steal this buy right there. Put that in there like that. And so that's where we stand at the moment with the Russell. Now the Russell is a representation of like the weakest of companies with the least amount of earnings. Last I heard, something like 40 or 45% of the stocks in the Russell 2000 did not make money this year or last year. They're in the minuses, but that's the way new companies grow. One day they're a bigger, successful company making money, and the next thing you know, their stock is moved over to some better index. And so that's kind of like something we're all watching here, is that as long as the Russell keeps on showing some type of life, it says us that speculative money is coming into the market. What they like to call risk assets. Risk assets. Now, let's take a look at the ETF Bitcoin. Let's see, where's it at? ETF Bitcoin, right here. I always like to look at that with the rest of the asset class, the stock indices. right there. As you can see there, they took it down yesterday. It'd been in a daily sell since here. Took it down, but it's in a weekly buy, so you can't really, jump up and down too much unless you were doing like a binary bear spread or something like that. That's the only way you could be invested in it. Let's take a look at it over on the beta. All right, right there. You can see there, same situation. It was in a sell there, and in a buy, and then back into a sell again. Now it's in a weekly buy, so you can't really play with any of this stuff, unfortunately. Like I said, the only way you can trade that through our math is by being in a binary. Definitely a bear binary of some form. On that short term, because the long term, look at that. It's all weekly buy, weekly buy, weekly buy, weekly buy. And it's been a great move too when you really look at the Bitcoin itself. We've been in a weekly buy since back in here, and that was in the 20s. Let's try this. There it is. The 26,000, 27,000 area, and it's been in a buy all along through that adventure, and it goes into a buy and has nice moves, and it goes into a sell. You don't want to take it again. More buys, and these sells have been a little choppy at times, and then mainly the buys have been wonderful adventures like that. I mean, that was a really great one. So the Bitcoin, they sold it off yesterday. Who knows, weekends, what, end of the year. Somebody had major, because I was down like 2,000 points. Was it 2,000 points? Or something like that, something crazy like that. So it went from 44,000 basically down to, it was like 40,000 at one point. It was like 4,000 points it dropped. Or 3,400 points. This is the cash. Let's see what the futures contract looked like. And the futures contract basically did the same thing from the 44,000 area down to the low is 40,045. So futures contract pulled that same thing. They smashed it down, and here we are today, making back almost half of it already. So that was, it probably was a tax selling thing, but somebody liquidated that. When you have no listed market, they act like bonds. The cryptos trade like bonds, and that can be really wild. When there's a non-listed market. I know, listed, non-listed, listed, non-listed. The stocks are a listed market. I think that some extent the Russell 2000 has some non-listed stocks. They may be real over the counter to the point where, but still they're forced to make decent bids and offers, legitimate ones. Whereas in the non-listed, like the bond market or the crypto market, there's a lot less responsibility there, so they can pull bids and offers and walk away, and no one can yell at them and say, we're going to take your brokerage license away from you, things like that. So it's a non-listed market. Currencies are a non-listed market. Same situation. That's why they can be wild and woolly and be very profitable or very dangerous. And if you that's why I'm a very big fan of marrying options to those particular markets, because they can be incredibly wild. So, all right. So from there, let's just see what it looks like on J4X too. We have it all the way down at the bottom there. You can see it's trying to battle its way through the 42s there with the big box up top showing you the quotes changing on the left side there. It doesn't seem like you're not seeing it all. Let's move this over a little bit more, maybe. See if I can make that bigger. Oh, I see. There we go. How's that? There you go. Now that fixes it better. There you go. Now you'll see it better. There you go. So You can see here, it's at 41,768 bid, $841 offer. That should tick. Tick. There you go. 42 offers, 45 offers. 71's bid. 70s are bid, 46s are offered, 7s were offered, 4s back to 46. Some action, action, action. All right, now, so that pretty much takes care of the asset classes, I like to call it, the stock indices. I look at the cryptos and the stock indices is like they're all assets, okay? And when it comes to the cryptos, we see the cryptos is, and that could be the title today of our market. We have to come up with a title. We could call it that too, because the way I look at the cryptos, they are like a new asset. That's what I like to call them, a new asset, because they act like a stock index. They act like a stock. They act like a currency. They act like a bond. They have all the different attributes, and you can move money across the planet like a bank, and you can. But again, it's a non-listed market, so it gets very, very dicey. It's anything can go wild in there. I was wondering about cross trades. Since it's a not listed market, you could do cross trades. Imagine if you're in Tokyo and you're trying to move $50 million, okay, and instead of you having to have $50 million sitting in your own bank in New York to move money from Tokyo to New York, all you do is go buy a Bitcoin and then cross that trade again in New York, and then they have they're I'm sure that if it's in a very good market, they could line up a buyer and do it right, and they don't have to have 50 million sitting in New York and 50 million sitting in Tokyo. Just the 50 million in Tokyo becomes instantly like a a Star Trek thing with the transporter moving people from the ship to the planet type of thing. So it can be like instantly there. And then you have to wash it again to somebody else. And I bet you could line them up. Since it's a non-listed market, you probably can find buyers that will pay, and then your client gets their equity moved for a lot cheaper and a lot faster and a lot easier. So cryptos to me is the new asset. And it doesn't surprise me. No, not at all. Because of the lack of faith. Ever since the creation of, was it the what do you call that? The quantitative easing. That really, put a big spin. Crypto. I spelled it wrong. It doesn't want to be a capital. That's it. Oh, there it is, crypto. There. So that's really the gist of it all. What else have we got? Anybody else want to see anything? CPI is coming out in about 5 minutes. That could be a lot of fun. And all we're seeing right now. So, Janos, I just sent up the title. Crypto is the new asset. I like that. And I think that there's no doubt in my mind that it's here to stay without. And I can't imagine, it's here to stay. And, no matter what any central bank wants to do about creating like an electronic dollar or electronic yen, or no one's going to care about them because they're in competition with what they call NGOs, non-government organizations. That's the whole idea. You don't want to be involved with them. You want to be away from them. People have lack of confidence in them. Even as much as we know, they're not going to disappear. They're going to stick around because governments are not going to give up the power of printing money. And so you can see, like in Argentina, they're going to go to the dollar now for a while. And then I guess if they become responsible, then they will start their currency again. And with a good, solid system that follows the law and Adam Smith of the last 4 centuries, or at least 3 centuries, from the 17s all the way to 18s, the 19s, and now the 20s. Just follow good law and keep these politicians from spending every dime they can get their fingers on. What else we got here? No other questions? Doc is getting excited about the. I'm dragging my feet from hanging up solely because I want to see what they're. I'm seeing the stock indices lift softly. So, let's put them up on the screen just because the number could be a very big number today. A very, very, very big number today. So, let's see, right there. And what do we got right there? I wanted to buy one of those. I should have bought it. And so, that is the magic of it all at this point. Jim Brandt. What's Jim Brandt saying? Yeah, see, they're lifting this thing up with about 3.5 minutes to go. Well, I'm going to get out of here because I'm going to trade in the middle of it. So, this is Doc from North America Traders. We will catch you all tomorrow. Same time, same channel. Yep, watching for the CPI, same as I am. So, happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you, to all our trading friends. Later, later,